Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Kaiser to throw it. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Howard. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Off the play fake, Kaiser. Flushed out right. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds. So possession will stay the same. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now the first carry for Brandon Oliver. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that's the way you get an opening drive going. Pick up the first down, convert on 3rd down, and how about doing it old school style, doing it with a running play.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Here we go.
And they'll try to throw here. Kaiser eluding the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Kaiser now. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people, make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 15 carries, 112 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Throwing again. Bradford on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he will be hit with a lot of force and spun down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On 3rd down, these guys, they know where the stick. Touchdown, Vikings! Latavius Murray, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has... Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the first quarter. Now it's time for the second quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And he's got some space here.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And some room to roam now. Avoids him at the 40. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
He was looking for Jordan Howard that time, and that'll bring up second down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Buying time to his left, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They run it here with Oliver. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get feet in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Again, it's Cook. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Don't forget about finding the lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Third and long for Bradford. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over a 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down.
Come on, let's go.
Kaiser. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 29.
And that's how you run the football and run it successfully. Big-time chunk of yardage picked up, but why? Offensive linemen won at the point of attack. Their leverage way better than the defenders. The low man wins when you're getting underneath and trying to move people. That's exactly what happened on that play. The offensive line moved the defensive front, created space, and the end result, a fantastic run.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sharif Floyd able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here we go. Try it, 38.
Second down, Kaiser. Steps away, and he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Deshaun Kaiser, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
So conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like you had green on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 18. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, Cook. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep downfield. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go.
Kaiser now on second down. Dancing to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down.
Come on, let's go.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Eric Kendricks in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. 3rd and long for Kaiser. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
All-start offense.
That's on the veteran guard, Alex Boone. Cook following the penalty. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was just pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. So Sam Bradford forced to leave this ball game, and they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infractions, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Let's go.
Now Kaiser. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game. The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. From the gun, Kaiser escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nifty move. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect it.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. They run. It's Oliver. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll throw here. Kaiser. And that is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll take a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
To throw, Kaiser. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 16 yards on the play. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Kyle Rudolph doing his job and making another nice catch. Come on, it's the month of December. You knew he was going to be there, right?
I knew you were going to go there. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Tucker. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Tucker. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll drop the throw. And Rudolph has it left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. They're going to look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith, and the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. But I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. This is Howard on 2nd down. Fighting off the defender. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Second down following the run. They'll run from the pistol with Howard. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go.
They go again with Oliver. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They go counter with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They go with Howard again. And some room to work. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind.